Do you want to know something very interesting? Have you ever heard of the number 666? It's a very mysterious number that appears in a book called Revelation. In this book, it talks about a very bad guy who will appear called Antichrist. He will want to be more important than everyone and even want people to adore him. You know what's crazier? They say that the Antichrist will want to change the rules of the world however he wants. And guess what? He will want to put a mark, the number 666, on everyone. That's right, like an evil stamp. It does not stop there. In the book, it says that this number is very important and has to do with the Antichrist. He's like the devil's right-hand man, you know? He will keep talking bad about God and wanting everyone to follow him. But look, the Bible warns us about this, gives us a tip to stay tuned. She says that whoever understands these things will know that the end of the world is coming. It's like a warning for people to be careful. Leave your like and subscribe to our channel and stay up to date with everything that happens on our channel. You know that number 666? They say it is the number of the Antichrist. It's amazing how there are people who don't take this seriously, right? I've seen t-shirts, even tattoos with that number, and there are even music bands that use it on their posters. But it's not just a joke, no. Many Bible scholars think that the Antichrist has already been born and is out there, just waiting for the right time to appear. I don't know if it's true, but one thing is certain. His spirit is out there, messing with people and preparing the ground for him to arrive with everything. It's like he has a whole team working for him, changing things in the world and preparing people to accept him. Remember the book of Revelation? It talks about a beast that comes to deceive everyone, making people worship him. It looks like something from a movie, but that's what it says there. Subscribe to our channel and stay up to date with everything that happens on our channel. Just think about the incredible things this guy, the Antichrist, is going to do. They say he will even make fire fall from the sky in front of everyone, as if it were a super show. What's more, he will fool everyone with these tricks, performing miracles that will leave everyone's jaw dropped. Just imagine, he's going to ask people to make a statue of him. And the madness doesn't stop there. He's even going to bring this statue to life. Like, he'll talk and everything. And look how absurd. Anyone who doesn't worship this statue will end up being, well, let's just say it won't end well. And there is one more very serious thing. The Antichrist will want to mark everyone with a symbol like a stamp on their hand or forehead. And anyone who doesn't have this brand won't be able to buy or sell anything. It's like a test of loyalty, you know? It's all pretty crazy, right? But I think it's important for us to keep an eye on this. Because this brand is not just a symbol, it is a question of who we choose to worship. You know, this story about the Antichrist brand is very serious. It's not just any symbol, it's like a label that shows who you choose to follow. It's as if you're saying, I'm on the devil's team. When someone accepts this brand, it is as if they are signing a contract with evil, a decision that cannot be taken back. It is a way of turning your back on God and aligning yourself with the wrong side once and for all. And this can decide a person's eternal destiny. Just imagine, the Antichrist will create an all-powerful system where only those who have this mark will be able to buy or sell anything. It's like total control, you know? Anyone who doesn't accept is left out, unable to participate in the economy. So what can we, as people who believe in God, learn from all this? We need to be very smart, pay attention to the signs, and not let something like this fool us. It is important to follow the right path and not fall into evil traps. You know, even before the Antichrist appears and this entire brand is revealed, a little preparation will take place. It will be as if they were planting seeds of this evil system out there. These seeds will slowly spread, infiltrating the economic and social structures of the world. It's not something that will happen all at once. It's more like a gradual adaptation to the Antichrist's ideas, as if we were slowly getting used to his rules. This is super important, especially for those who believe in God. The Bible tells us to stay tuned, understand what is happening, and not let these seeds grow too much. We need to be smart, like those guys who understood everything from ancient times in the Bible. They knew what was going on and what to do. That's kind of what we need to do too. You know, we who believe in God nowadays need to understand what is going on in the world. It's not just a matter of a bad guy appearing out of nowhere. It's deeper than that. The evil spirit, the Antichrist, is already out there, messing with things. Many people, you think he'll only start messing up when he shows up for good, but that's not the case. The Bible says that his spirit is already active out there, you know? Look, the level of evil and sin nowadays is up there. It's as if people have forgotten how to do it right. You know those old stories in the Bible about super sinful cities? Well, it's similar to that. So, we need to keep an eye on it, understand what kind of world we are living in, and not fall into the traps of this evil. It's time to wake up and act before it's too late. You know, in the past, there were some people who did a lot of things wrong. Like, imagine if everyone only thought about doing bad things all the time. Remember the story of Noah? The world was full of evil, and no one seemed to care. And Babylon? Wow, there was a festival of idolatry, pride, and everyone just wanted to stand out and do whatever they wanted. But what's craziest is that nowadays, all these sins have come together and formed our society. It's as if we took a little bit of every bad place in the Bible and mixed it all together. When we look back and compare it to what's going on today, it's scary how similar they are. The truth is that our society today seems like a mixture of all these bad times in the Bible. So, it's time to wake up and see what's happening around us. You can't stand by while the world sinks into sin. You know, when we think about ancient Babylon, it makes us want to think that those were unique times, full of sins. But the reality is that these sins were not just there in the past, no. They are so very much alive, spreading out there, right in the middle of our lives. It is important to understand the world we live in today. Look, they're preparing a very complicated system where you won't be able to buy or sell anything without a special brand. And this is starting to happen right in front of us. So we need to stay tuned, notice these things that are happening. This system that is emerging is like a warning of what is to come. It's as if it were a preview of what the Antichrist will do when he comes to power. These technological and economic changes are not happening for nothing. They are so linked to changes in our society, in people's ways of thinking and values. It's as if we are increasingly accepting constant vigilance and a way of living that is far from God's ideals. Look, sometimes we trade our privacy for easier things like using the internet or apps. And this is happening more and more, right? And what's more, we are also seeing moral and ethical values being lost out there, as if people are accepting wrong without even realizing it. Our generation is seeing a mixture of sins that happened way back when, like in the story of Noah, in Sodom and Gomorrah and in Babylon. These sins are joining together and becoming stronger and stronger in our society. Therefore, it is super important that we, who believe in God, be very attentive, really smart. We need to strengthen our faith against this wave of wrong things that are going on out there. So what can we do? Well, first, it's important to keep an eye on the signs, knowing that these things are happening before the Antichrist shows up for good. We can't just watch, right? We have to be an active part of God's kingdom, knowing His Word, strengthening our faith, and living in accordance with the values He taught us. Our mission is to be like lights in this dark world, spreading God's love and speaking the truth that He taught us. We have to keep an eye on what's happening, to understand what's coming and be prepared. Look, we shouldn't live in fear, okay? It's more about being switched on and ready for whatever comes. It's as if we had a flashlight full of batteries, just like those smart girls who had everything ready for when the groom arrived. We need to align our lives, our values, our time, and what we have with the kingdom of God. In short, it's as if we were preparing everything to receive what is right and good. Try to understand what's happening isn't just about watching. It's about making an effort to see how the Antichrist system is subtly infiltrating our world. The spirit of Antichrist is moving to prepare the ground for what lies ahead. And look, the Bible is very serious about this. He says that whoever accepts the sign of the Antichrist will have big problems. It's like drinking a super bitter drink of God's wrath. So, even with this warning, many people may end up falling into this trap. Therefore, it is important to be smart and not let this happen to us. We must always choose God's path, even if the world seems to be going the wrong way. Look, a lot of people will end up accepting this brand, and for several reasons. One of the main ones is the fear of running out of money. So, anyone who doesn't accept the mark will experience financial difficulties. because the Antichrist will have so much power that he will control all financial transactions in the world. And then only those who have the brand will be able to buy and sell. This will leave everyone in a very complicated situation, because it will seem like they have no choice but to accept the brand. It's as if the Antichrist is pressuring everyone to accept, and that's what you need to understand about the devil. He likes to force people to do what he wants. God is different. He gives us the freedom to choose, but also lets us face the consequences of our choices. Even though we know that receiving this mark means separating ourselves from God forever, there will still be people who will choose to accept it. Just imagine a father who needs to take care of his family. He may feel like he has no choice but to accept the mark, even though he knows it will separate him from God. It's a very difficult situation, but it's important for us to understand what's happening and not fall into this trap. Just imagine a father who needs to take care of his family, but can't buy or sell anything because he didn't accept a special brand. It's a super difficult situation. Many people will feel pressured and end up giving in. The worst thing is that this won't happen to just one or two people. It will be a general pressure. Then people will see others managing to take care of their families, and they will feel even more tempted to accept the brand. Another reason is that, in difficult times, we can try to find excuses to do things that we know are wrong. Like, the person may think, it's just a mark, God will understand. Or, I'll accept it now and I'll regret it later. This is dangerous because we could end up falling into this trap. What's more, the false prophet will perform miracles and deceive many people. It will be difficult not to get carried away by this. So we need to be very careful and not let anything keep us from what is right. When all this happens, the false prophet will do some incredible tricks that will fool a lot of people. It's going to be like real magic. And these tricks will convince many people that the Antichrist is really a divine figure who came to bring good things. And then, these people will think that accepting the brand is the right thing to do. Another reason is that a lot of people simply don't know what's going on. You don't know the things that are written in the Bible. You don't know about the prophecies that warn about what's about to happen. And without this knowledge, they end up falling into these traps. So we need to be very smart and know what is in the Bible so as not to fall for these lies.